Welcome back to my war coverage of the second EoT and Xcel War, which took place last year. I hope you watched my first video, which was Archer's Blood. And if you did, you'll know that Xcel is now winning 1-0 in the war series. So now we have Europe map. This is just the starting position of Europe map. And essentially, it's kind of like an RM flavor for the map. Although you have 8 starting spots, you have Ireland, England, Norway, France, Spain, Africa, Italy, and Greece. And each spot gets similar resources, so you get a bunch of wood, each get a sheep, each get gold, each get stone. And yeah, I mean, each spot has its own advantage, and you really don't know what spot you're going to get because you start out like this, and each player goes to a randomly assigned location. So for this game, we have Cena, Masta, Like GG, and Nazgul, who are facing Marvel, Recon, I think that's Volcom, orange, and red, who's Charlie, aka Forgive Me. Recon, I think, is an old Europe player. I think that's Leon. Forgive Me is a very old Europe player. Marvel is an old Europe player, and so is Volcom. So EoT has a really, really strong game as far as Europe players go. Naz is an old Europe player. Like GG is a new Europe player, but he's quite good. Masta is yeah, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. So I'm gonna go to Cena, who's also a new Europe player. But he's really good with like grushing and docking. If you watch my other Europe video on my channel, you'll have seen Cena, and he's got fast up times, and he's dangerous if you underestimate him. So before we get into this, my production team actually went out because I have a very extensive production team, if you didn't know. And they found a friend of EoT, whose name is Vince, aka Power Moon, and we just wanted to ask him how he was feeling about this war and his general feelings on EoT. So I have Vince with me live right now, and I'm just gonna go to him.
J'ai niqué ta mère. Et tu sais quoi, elle a aimé la parce que c'est une grosse c'est un bel c'est qu'un gros c'est quoi ce bras, je t'étrangle. Un gros sac à et tu vaux pas mieux qu'elle. Tiens, ta mère, va.
But let's get on with the game. So we have Forgive Me, who's Mayans. Nazgul is Byzantines. Raycon is Mongols. Marvel is Byzantines. Like GG is Mongols. Masta is Goths, and Mayans. So what stands out to me right now is the Mongol players. Mongols get really high gathering speed on the deer and the boar, and you can get up really fast to feudal age with Mongols. And if they're near an enemy, they could do a fast rush and kill all of their fish, and that could be a real game changer. The rest of them, Byzantines, are pretty good boom civ. They have fires that are faster attack. So those are good in Castle Age. Goths are a decent boom civ, and Mayans are okay. They're not really great at anything, unfortunately. So here we go. Europe map. And I'm gonna put my unit spy on. So this is the basic start that you want. You make a lumber camp. You signal to your allies where you are. So it looks like we have Spain, France, Africa, and Greece. So what immediately stands out to me here is the fact that Cena is all alone here. They have EoT as Spain, Africa, and Greece, and Cena's stuck right here. And in Europe, fishing is really important, as you can see from all these fish. And if Cena docks here, and green and red make ships, then they can kill all of his fish, and he won't have any food to go up to Castle or Imperial with. So from this chat, it looks like green's gonna dock top, which means instead of his spot right here, he's gonna dock here, and it looks like he's gonna grush. So he's gonna grush teal, and then yellow said he's gonna dock normal, which means he's gonna dock here and grush these positions up here. So once you have your lumber camp, I'm only following EoT's perspective for the moment, by the way, because they're generally the better Euro players here. So you make your TC. Yellow's made it right by the gold, which I like to do, because then you don't have to build a mining camp really early, especially if you're grushing. It'll give you 100 extra wood. Looks like blue's kind of... I don't agree with what blue's done here. He's made it his TC a space back from the wood, which means that once he chops all of those, he's going to have a problem, because then his villagers are going to have to walk even farther. He's also made a mistake. He didn't lure his boar properly, so it's actually a long way away from his TC, and that's going to put down his time a lot. Purple looks fine. He's got the standard setup for someone on this position. Yellow also made a mistake. His boar was over there. I wonder if there was some lag in this game, because usually these players manage to lure the boar directly under the TC. Red's TC'd right in between this wood, so that he can have, well, you can have probably 12 efficient choppers along this stretch, and that's a really good spot to TC. Green's also TC'd in the standard place, and once again it looks like his boar was kind of out of place. It's not that bad, because these three can put food into the TC. Gray's got the standard TC placement. Orange is doing fine. Teal has a very strange placement for the TC, but it doesn't look like it's harming him very much yet. So we're going to see the scouting. Scouting is very important. You have to find where your enemies are, where they're building. You really want to discover the routes into your base, so that you can wall them fastly without having to scout them out later. So it looks like yellow's just scouting out the routes into his base so he can wall them off later. He already knows where his allies and enemies are, and he just wants to make sure that he's safe for later in the game. Forgive me sending one up here to make sure that Gray doesn't send a villager down. He also wants to scout out so that if Gray's sending a villager down, his sheep will be found, and he'll know to immediately wall up here. Let's see. Blue is kind of like yellow. He's, at the moment, he scouted out here because he doesn't want to be landed. And at the moment, he's just scouting out his entranceways. So, basically, it looks like everyone's pretty much on track. One or two fishing ships. This is very unfortunate. This is very unfortunate for either Master or Masta or Green. They've both docked in the same spot, which means that Masta is probably going to be able to see him. And Green's whole thing was the element of surprise. So if Masta moves that fish, who's idle by the way, and that's no good. If he moves him just a little bit over here, he's going to see Green's fishers, and he's going to know that he has to go up to feudal really fast in order to get those first galleys out there. So that'll be interesting to watch as it happens. So you can see here, Gray has walled and Green has walled. So gray walled in a forward position so that green couldn't come over here and maybe build a tower over his gold or push with buildings and block off that space. It looks like gray has docked. Yep, gray has docked up here, just like I said. He really didn't want his fishermen to die, so green's gonna have a tough time. Unless he goes to feudal really a lot faster than these other players, since it's going to be a 2-on-1. Essentially going to be gray and teal against him. Orange has docked standard, and he looks like he's doing fine there. Blue only has one dock, which is a bit of a problem, considering everyone else, like purple's on his third. You know, green's got two, teal's got two. But we'll see how that works out. Red's doing really fine. He's going full boom, it looks like. He's got docks pumping villagers or fishing ships. And his resources are going to be well off. Green here needs to go up faster. When you forward dock like this, you really want to be up by around 12:30 or 12 minutes. And unfortunately for green, I don't think that he's scouted. Yeah, he doesn't know that Barry's there. He doesn't know that Gray's here. And he hasn't scouted it out. When you forward dock like this, you really want to scout, and that might be a problem for him. So let's see. He's already up to feudal. Cena's already up to feudal, and if they manage to see him, green's going to be dead, but neither one has seen him yet. That's interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at people who are feudal. So we have yellow right here, who's doing okay resource-wise. And it looks like he's making galleys. And he's gonna go this way because Charlie just figured out that Cena had no docks. See, Marvel and Charlie, because Charlie figured out Cena had no docks, Marvel just assumed that he docked up there. And now he's building another dock here because he really wants to kill off Gray's fish. So it looks like blue, I'm going to switch to the other team for a second. Looks like blue is grushing as well, although, to be honest, blue making ships there, it doesn't look like he has much of a plan. He doesn't have that many fishers. He only has 7 fishers and only 3 docks. I don't think that was the greatest decision by blue. If you're in the pocket position, like right beside your ally, I don't think only going 3 docks and 7 fishers is a very good idea. He should have probably made 9 or 10 fishers and had 4 docks so he could pump out the galleys faster. But it looks like he's sending them to yellow. He's going to try and kill some fish. Over here, green and teal have finally discovered each other, and green is making a galley here. I wonder, teal's not making anything, he's going up to castle age, so he just wanted a really fast food supply from his fishermen. And now it looks like he's going to make some fire ships or demos later. Here's blue. His rush on yellow's docks really didn't work. He didn't have enough population. Like I said before, I don't really think he had a plan. I think he was just making it up as he goes along. It looks like yellow's forward rush on purple didn't work either, because he still has some of his fleet back here, and he's 2-on-1. Let's see what orange does here as yellow tells him that it's blue and purple teaming up on him. It looks like green has successfully taken out or chased away teal's fish, and green's going to come along here and hopefully see Cena's fishermen. Oh, did he not see them? Oh, he didn't see them. He didn't even see the docks, so he won't know that Cena has fishermen there. Hmm. Well, we'll see what happens with that later. It looks like Gray is actually... Oh my god! Gray's rushing orange. He sent the forwardville there. He set up a barracks and some archers. Main's one of their bonuses is to get cheap archers. It looks like he's building a watchtower over his stone and his gold, which will prevent orange from having that supply, although there is more here. And orange knows that he has more here, so he's making a house wall. Those archers can't go between. So Cena's kind of stalled out here. He's done very well to get the advantage, but he can't go past here, and he can't get through here. So it looks like all he's going to do is slow orange down just a tiny little bit. Green is fully walled, and it looks like he's sending out fire ships now. He finally discovered Gray's dock. And he's got the super advantage there. Teal's going to be stuck on this island. If you've ever been stuck on this island in Euro and you don't control the water, you know how freaking hard it is to get off. So essentially it's a 4 versus 3 now. All green has to do is keep some ships around here, and Teal is basically fucked. Yep, orange is doing fine now. He's got some knights. He's building another town center, and Cena really can't do much against that. So it looks like over on this end, yellow's fighting 2-on-1. I don't know what orange is doing, but yellow's fighting 2-on-1. See, and he's not going to win that. Blue's distracting for purple. And I don't know if you've watched RM, but the galley wars that they usually have, you know, where they click individual units and then click back and try and dodge the arrows, it's a bit harder. It's actually a lot harder on Europe because we play on fast speed. So it is possible to do that if the game's not laggy at all, but it's really not worth your time. Patrolling is better, and using ships as like a distracting patrol is a lot better than individual microing for that. So if I look at this correctly, Masta looks like he knows that he's stuck, so he's tributing purple all of his resources because he knows he's not likely to get off this island whatsoever because green controls the water. So green's heading over. He's going to send a couple ships over here, which will stop blue from getting any stone from there, but blue has another pile here. It looks like red is on his way to Imperial Age. You can see how many fishers he has. And he has 3 TCs. He's probably going to make a bunch more TCs, and he's just going to start flooding the entire map with eagles. He's probably going to take out Gray here first. Because Gray lost his rush against those knights. Arch rarely works in Euro, and I think Cena was just doing that because he's main, so he didn't have much options. He couldn't go C. He already had his villager up here, so I think he just figured he'd try and slow orange down a bit, which he really did. So here's this fight. I think purple's gonna win this. Yellow should retreat here. This is one of the strategies for naval fighting. You get one ship distracting, and it's really doing a great job here. Yeah, it looks like purple's gonna win that battle. Blue, I don't know what blue is doing. He really doesn't have a plan, as I said before. He's made some more fishing ships, but his lumber camp isn't really that efficient, and he only has one town center with a second one going up now. Red's just building up his military. He's going to be doing all his researches, and once he gets that, he's going to be able to just roll over Gray here. In my opinion, I don't think Xcel has much of a chance here. Teal's stuck. Blue isn't really doing anything at all at the moment. Purple's winning the C, but the C really doesn't matter at this point because everyone has, you know, like red has a bunch of farms, so even if he loses his ships, which he probably won't, He's got that food supply. Looks like Yellow's going to be able to hold him for a while here. And I wonder if Yellow is going up to Imperial. No, he's not. But he's got full dogs making chips. And it looks like he's going to win. Yeah, I think he's going to win. Purple... Yeah, I think this game's laggy because Purple's patrol just froze there, which really hurt him. And Yellow's gonna hold them off on C there. Yeah, he's very lucky to have held that. I think Purple really messed up on his patrol there, and it kind of lagged out the wrong moment. So here comes Red, just like I said. He's gonna make some siege rams, I think. And he's gonna get his way through there.
Shot it.
Yeah, he's got capped rams, so he's probably gonna upgrade to siege rams soon. Just bust right through that palisade wall. He's got these eagles to back him up, and I wouldn't be surprised if Cena just resigns and the whole team just resigns as soon as he's into his base. Looks like Blue and Purple have built up a lot on C, and they're gonna try and kill Orange here. Although it's not gonna do much because he's sufficiently boomed on land. If he makes a few farms, then he won't need his fishermen at all. Teal is still stuck. End of update. Green's really pushing Gray here, and Gray's gonna get butt fucked from both sides. And there's Eagles, which are gonna be elite pretty soon, I think, with the Mayan unique tech. For the Eagle HP, and once that happens, there's really nothing Cena can do. Yellow is pushing forward once again. He knows that Blue and Purple sent their ships to Orange, so he's just gonna push forward and kill all of Purple's C. Green's coming down to help Orange. There's really nothing good coming for Xcel right now. There's no high point of this game at all. Gray's losing all of his villagers. There's nothing he can do against these Eagle Warriors 4+2 defense. Even with a crowded town center, that's gonna die really fast, especially with these siege rams coming up. Teal is still stuck. Oh, wonderful. 10 idle villagers on your berries. That's great. Here comes Yellow just to kill the rest of Purple's ships, and to be honest, I think there's a resignation coming soon for the entire Xcel team. Blue, like I said earlier, and I've been saying throughout this game, Blue really didn't have a plan. He's not really doing anything. He's making a few ships, but to be honest, they really only needed him to make maybe 20 ships, and then like dock here and make some fires and really push Orange on land. That's what they needed. They didn't need him to make all of these ships and not do anything else. So everyone's resigned here except Cena and like GG. There's really no hope for them. I'm gonna fast forward this a bit, because I think they're gonna resign fairly soon. Like GG is walling. I don't know if this is a joke or not, why he's doing this, but he's walling his area so that no one can land him. I think he's just trying to waste time to kind of piss him off. And Cena as well. At this rate though, Cena's going to be defeated fairly soon. And like GG has successfully walled off his island for some obscure reason. I don't know why. Let's just take a look at their economies. So like, Red has how many? 3 TCs, 4 TCs, 5 TCs. Yeah, Red's basically booming. He's at 157 pop. Uh, he's got fully upgraded eagles and rams, and he really, like, his fish weren't really touched at all throughout the game. He wasn't attacked, and he really had the opportunity to just build up his resources and then roll right on through Europe. Orange did fairly well to counter. The way he walled with his buildings was really nice. Kind of funneled Gray into here, and Gray couldn't pass his town center because all of his archers would have died. He also walled here so he could have the gold, which was really nice of him. Green got very lucky, I think. Neither Cena nor Masta knew that Green was there, so they didn't really grush him. And Green only figured it out once he was almost at feudal that they were there. So he managed to make a few ships, and Teal was unlucky because his plan was to get to Castle Age. He thought he was going to be safe, and his plan was probably to get to Castle Age, make a lot of TCs, boom, and then land somewhere over here, and make an army on the mainland, but that didn't work because, well, Green decided to dock here. Cena had a very bad spot, and he really did the best that he could with that situation. I don't agree with the archer rush over here. I feel like he should have made some ships, maybe. He should have at least scouted out here. Made some ships, killed green docks, and maybe, like, just boomed up a bit. Tributed resources to his allies who had better civilizations. So yeah, this game is essentially done. I'm gonna pause it here because we really don't need to see the rest of this. Looks like EoT has won the Europe map, and the score of this war is now 1-1. It's a best of 9, so we have 7 games to go. 3 maps for each clan, and then the decider, which I believe is Smosh. So the score is 1-1. EoT handily defeats Xcel in Euro. They really didn't mount a comeback throughout the entire game. Teal was fucked right off from the start. Orange had a really nice defense against Cena. Blue really didn't have a plan. Like GG, had a good water battle against Yellow. And basically, Red ended up rolling over everyone because he was given so much time to boom and get his resources in line. So I'd love to see you guys for the next installment. I think I'm going to do 2 maps next time, maybe Cons and King Moves, or Wars and Cons. This one is its own separate video because it just took so long and people really dragged it out. That's unfortunate, but overall it was a fairly good game. You got to see some good strategies like green dock in the top. You got to see what happens when you don't scout, as Cena and Masta found out. And that's the basics of Euro map. This is a pretty standard 4 vs 4 game. And yeah, so we'll see you in the next video. I think it's going to be KM and Cons. Thanks for watching.